Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 22 of Civilization 5 as Portugal on Emperor difficulty. Things are going quite well, except Egypt and Korea and I think somebody else have just declared on Tikal, and Polynesia and Arabia are at war with each other, so there's actually quite a lot of wars going on and I'm not involved in any of them currently. However, I don't want Egypt to take Tikal, so what I'm going to do is hopefully wait until Pakal moves some of his forces over to the west to try and deal with Egypt, and then I'm going to swoop in and ninja it when they are not looking. It would be nice to let the war rage on a little bit, and hopefully he can weaken Egypt by killing some of their units, but it's very, very unlikely that Egypt is going to lose an awful lot in that war anyway, so it's a little bit too much to hope for. In the meantime, we're going to continue to build up our nation, trying to get as many of the good buildings in as many of the good cities as we possibly can. Being denounced by the Mayans, that's fine. It's not going to be a problem for you in a few turns because you're not going to exist anymore. Open borders with Arabia. Don't really want that because there's absolutely no need. Right, Arabia is actually starting to wipe out Polynesia. This is going to make Arabia even more of a pain to deal with, although attacking them from sea may be the way to go. Little bit of a skirmish going on over here in Tikal's territory. So we have our Great War Bomber here. You're going to sleep for the time being. You're going to repair that. You are going to rebase into Palenque. Now you guys should be able... Yeah, you can just reach Tikal. If it was one tile further away, wouldn't be able to do it. But we can just reach Tikal, so that is fine. Cargo ship. Are you a new cargo ship, or were you a previously existing cargo ship? Either way, going to Medina doesn't seem like a bad idea. It will give us quite a bit of money. Still have a great engineer knocking around. A little bit late in the game to make a manufactory. I'm just saving him until we get a wonder. Might actually use him for Cristo Redentor if it hasn't already gone. But we'll have to have a look and see how that works. Let's go on to the next turn. There's an awful lot that I can do on this turn. Now the map's going to go crazy. Being... insulted by Egypt, that is fine. So I think what we've basically established so far in this Let's Play is that none of the AI leaders are like me. But that's absolutely fine because I intend to just go and obliterate them all anyway. It would actually be quite nice if we could last the 3 turns to upgrade all of our Great War infantry into normal infantry. That would be amazing if we could do that. And the thing is, we probably can. Gao has finished its windmill. Factory wouldn't be a bad idea. It would certainly help its production, but we could also go ahead and get a hydro plant, but I don't really want to spend aluminium on that if possible. Let's go ahead here and... let's get an opera house, because we are going to be pulling up some more... great musicians as time goes on, so we are going to be needing that. Right, you guys, I was moving you over here because I wanted to try and go and build our Fatora or whatever it's called, so we can build one there, that's not a problem. Got a hill there, we could go ahead and build a mine on that, although we can get a farm there because it's fresh water, so let's go ahead and do that. Units needing orders. Great War Bomber, you can just sleep for now. So we've got 3 Great War Bombers in Palenque. Let us start moving up with another cannon, potentially. With the 3 Great War Bombers, we probably won't need all that many cannons in order to take the city down. Ah, here we go. We can already see that Egypt are moving some units into Tikal. So this is where I do have to be very, very careful because I don't want Egypt to be able to take the city from under my nose. If they do... still not too much of a problem because we will be taking it back from Egypt anyway. What we could also possibly do, and I'm not too sure what's going on up at Chichen Itza. It's probably not being attacked, but if Chichen Itza gets wiped out and the mines get wiped out completely, what we could do is actually liberate Tikal, which would give us permanent open borders with them because it would bring them back into the game. But we'll have to see how that goes. We have ourselves a frigate. Let's give you combat strength against naval units. You're going to be very useful to us. Ironworks has now completed. Let's go ahead and get a temple, because it's only one turn. We've finished the frigate. Let's go ahead and get a shrine, because it would be nice to get a little bit of additional faith coming in. And I think I was moving the other worker there to do that, but you've got time now, so you can get there and you can start building a farm on the next turn. So, yep, let's go ahead and build the Trattoria here. Yep, not bothered about their farm. Frigate, what are we going to do with you? Guess we can just move you out, and we will build a bit of a fleet. We can use them later on, potentially. Oh, we can upgrade the now to an ironclad, actually. 270. Might do that. That's not a bad idea. Can it still do that? I thought we'd already done that. I thought we'd already expended that. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Guess we'll find out. Unit needs orders. What are you guys going to do? You've completed the road there, haven't you? That's brilliant. Coimbra's all connected up. So, what would be the next best thing for you guys to go and do? I guess we could go over here and possibly build a mine. So, let's go on to the next turn. Let's keep our eye on Egypt. I mean, they may help us out if they do some damage. The only problem we've got is we don't want to end up getting to a position where we weaken Tikal enough for Egypt to take it easily. So the mines do have a ranged unit in there, so we do have to be careful. Egypt are doing absolutely no damage to it at the moment anyway. So we don't have to worry too much about that right now. And we have discovered plastics. Great, this is what I was waiting for. What we can do now, for 120 gold, which is actually very cheap, is we can go ahead and we can take all of our, well, I say all of, we can take our 2 war infantry and upgrade them to infantry, which is actually really good. And we're starting to work towards military science now as well, so we will be able to work up and get machine guns at some point. Temple has already been finished. Let's go ahead, yeah, Cristo Redentor must have already gone. So let's go ahead and get a research lab. That will help us immensely. We've finished the shrine here. Let's go to the temple first, because it's only one turn away. And then we will go and get a research lab. And probably a hospital after that, if we can. Just help us with the growth. Coimbra has finished the cannon here. Again, a shrine. And then after the shrine, let's go ahead and get a research lab. Research labs is a great way to actually get ahead on science, so we really want to do that. We've got another cannon down here that we can bring in. You guys, actually, I want you to build a farm, because you are going to be on fresh water. You guys have finished that trading post. Guess you can go over here and build another one. Trading posts and lumber mills are the only 2 improvements you can build in forests that don't actually destroy the forests. I'm just going to actually see if we still have the ability to do that thing, because it's still there, that exotic cargo. I thought we'd already done it, but I'm confused as to why the icon is still there, but we will have a little look. Guess we don't really need to do an awful lot with that frigate. You can just stay down there on alert. We will get some more of them going before we get into the war with Egypt, probably. Do I want to swap you 2 guys over so the cannon's closer to the front? It's not going to let me. Well, we'll move you down there then. That will probably be enough. So I think on the next turn, providing something doesn't go horribly wrong, we might actually declare war. And I've got to be careful, of course, because Egypt are moving their units in and they're getting in my way. There's a submarine. I don't know whose submarine it was, and I'm not sure whose trireme it was attacking, but at least we know one thing. Somebody has submarines. So we are going to have to be careful. It's probably going to be Arabia, Polynesia or Egypt, because they are going to be the tech leaders around here. So, are we going to go to war with Tikal? Yes, we are. We are going to lose 1 trade route. That's fine. Now, the question is, how much damage can I do? Can I do enough damage to realistically take it myself? Oh, right, we don't have line of sight, that's why. So, let's just cancel that for now. Let us move in. We are going to have to move in. So, there's a few Egyptian units around, which we would be very, very happy if they disappeared off. So, let's move in with our artillery. We can fire a shot. Didn't do a massive amount of damage. How much damage can we do with our Great War Bombers? The Great War Bombers are going to take some damage on this turn. I appreciate that. Not a huge deal of damage. We did some. Now, I don't think the Egyptians have got enough to do enough damage to take it down. So, I am going to go in with my bombers. The city and the Gatling gun will probably prioritise weakened units first, so it'll most likely go for the Egyptian Great War Infantry unless they move it out. Not sure if Egypt have any planes nearby. They do have a war bomber station there, but I actually think that's too far away to reach Tikal. I think it quite possibly is. So, I don't think Egypt are going to have enough damage to take Tikal out. And they've only got 2 cannons within range, and one of those is half dead. And if they end up killing that Great War Infantry, that's going to help matters immensely for us. So, we should be okay in this war. So unless everybody else dogpiles on us. We've got it down into the yellow, but I think we're fine. You can actually set up, but you can't fire on this turn. That is fine. You guys were going to build a mine, I believe. That'll make that a nice little production tile. You guys, why not? Go ahead. Another trading post. No, the option is gone, so we can't actually do that. We did already do it with that unit, and there's no way of recharging it. I was wondering, because I've never used those units before, I was wondering a little bit if they work like the Explorers do in Beyond Earth, where you can essentially just go back to your city and recharge, but it doesn't look like you can, so we're going to leave you there. On to the next turn. Now, obviously, the mines don't have an awful lot they can throw at me. That's the Egyptian cannon. Yeah, Egypt have lost... No, they haven't lost their melee unit, but they certainly didn't have enough to take it there. Wow, Polynesia's actually already made peace with Arabia. That was quite quick, although they have lost a few cities to them. So Polynesia is in a very, very weakened state right now. In fact, it's actually put me above Polynesia in terms of the score. So that is quite an interesting thing. See, Egypt is still running around with riflemen and cavalry. Admittedly, I don't even have cavalry yet, but I generally don't use cavalry units, but they still have riflemen. So, right, now we should technically have enough. Actually, let's go ahead and get rid of some of this junk first, just so we can take that policy, because it might be useful to us. We could get a level 3 tenant. We could get close with its legacy. 25% attack bonus for the first 50 turns after the policy is adopted. Now, that could actually be brilliant for us, because that would give us the next 50 turns, which would put us up to, what, turn 385, with an extra 25% attack bonus to all of our military units. Yeah, we definitely need to get that. It's one of the best things that you can have in this game, and Egypt is going to be my biggest fight because of the technology difference. So, we'll still have that in play when we are going up against Egypt, not a problem at all. So, that will now apply to these, because as you can see, if you look down here, I can't point at it because it moves, but under bonus versus cities, plus 250%, temp attack bonus, 50 turns, 25%. It's not going to do an awful lot of damage, but it is going to do some damage. Again, I hope I've got enough to be able to take it on this turn. It's in the red, but I still don't think I actually have enough to take it. Let's go and sort out our production. Gao has fit. Right. Research labs everywhere. Research labs are like one of the most important things we are ever going to have. We are going to skip a turn on all of our Great War Bombers, just so that they get a tick of healing. We are going to move our infantry units in a little bit more. This makes it more difficult for Egypt to be able to attack anyway, because we're essentially putting our units in the way and causing a nuisance. So let's start moving some units forward where we can. Got another cannon here. It's probably not going to get into the fight. You can stay there. You're going to skip a turn as well. you can, well, you should really just fortify, but never mind. So I have a little bit of concern that Egypt may be able to take it. I still don't think they have any bombers that are within range. Obviously, they still have a couple of cannons around. They don't have the same attack power that I do. And Tikal does have a fair bit of a defensive bonus there. Okay, I think that's actually the end of Egypt's attack round, so they didn't have enough to take it. That's fine. And Tikal is actually managing to thin out a few of the Egyptian units, which helps us. Arabia's completed the Manhattan Project. Always nice to know. Right, we should be able to take Tikal on this next turn. Not too sure if... we have another great engineer as well. That's fantastic. If only we could actually get to any wonders and build them. Not sure if anyone's attacking Chichen Itza yet. But let's go ahead and deal with this first. We should quite easily be able to take Tikal out without too much of a problem. Think it's down to 0, so let's go ahead and send these guys in. Yep, all of Egypt's troops just got booted out, so it is now mine. And we have Tikal. And for the moment, we're just going to create a puppet because it's going to be in resistance for 11 turns anyway, so we can't build a courthouse there just yet. Thank you very much. Job done. Do we peace out with them now? They probably won't peace out with me. No, they won't peace out with me. I don't mind. They're not going to be a problem to me anymore. Units needing orders, you guys can just completely fortify until healed. Now, we will get them moved over to Tikal at some point, because Tikal is where we're going to base our war bombers. They're probably going to be out of range of Thebes, actually. What is the range of a war bomber? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. And what is the range to Thebes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Typical. I do believe there is something you can get that does increase the range. Of course, we can upgrade them from great war bombers to bombers, and that gives them 8 range instead of 6, so we'll be able to attack it once we get upgraded to bombers. And they do have a bit of experience on them now as well, so that is all good. For the meantime, we are going to start moving some of our units forward, because we do want to create a defensive line, just in case Egypt decides they are going to declare war on us, because, you know, that's the sort of thing that Egypt do. So let's start moving forward with our units where we can. Conquistador. Can you do anything useful? Probably not. We'll just sit you up there on top of that hill. So, we have another great engineer, and I'm literally just going to sleep you until I can find something useful for you to do. Great war bomber, you're going to fortify until healed. Ironclad, I guess you can just sort of go on to alert as well. We've got a stat unit somewhere. Oh, we've got ourselves another general. Got to bring him down to the front. He may be useful. We may be able to do one of those little cheeky tricks again with a citadel. We may need to do that. So we'll send him down there. Archaeology. Now this one is close enough for us to build a landmark improvement. So let us do that. We'll just make sure that Gao is going to work that tile. We'll definitely lock that in. Doesn't give us an awful lot of culture straight off the bat, but it's quite nice. It is on production focus. I don't mind that too much. I don't think we need to grow particularly. Let's just go over to our capital, and because we've got a lot of unemployed people here, can we just go on to default focus? We lose a little bit of time. We can work somebody else in the factory. We can work the university. Ooh, and the workshop. 4 turns until a new citizen is born. We're not going to get great people very quickly doing that, but I don't mind too much. That's fairly decent. 5 turns until the research lab is completed. 1 turn away from military science. Embassy with Egypt. No reason not to, so I am going to say yes just for the time being. So I'm actually getting quite close to Egypt in score now. There was a point where Egypt had double the score that I did. And they now only have, what, 223 score more than I do? So I am catching up. Not that score really means all that much in this game anyway, but it's certainly nice to see that I have come from behind. Which, to be honest, is always what you are doing in Civilization 5 when you're playing on high difficulties. Because the AI has bonuses and the player has handicaps, you are always coming from behind. So, cannon. Let's give that cannon accuracy 3. That great war bomber. What we can do, actually, is... well, I'd prefer not to move the great war bombers into Tikal until we've pieced out, because there is still a chance, however unlikely it is, that... not Polynesia, that the Mayans could take it back. I mean, they won't be able to, because I don't think they've got any units anywhere close, and they'd have to get through Egypt first. But I think I'm going to leave them in Palenque, at least until Tikal is no longer at low health. So we could upgrade our conquistadors to cavalry. We probably should. We've got 3,500 gold. It only costs 190 gold to do each of them. And we do have a few of them, but we can do that anyway. We'll continue to move the cannons forward, because we will be going for Egypt next. Don't want to move too many units forward, though, because, of course, I don't want Egypt to suddenly get suspicious that I'm about to attack them. Because if I can avoid getting that backstabber penalty, then we will avoid getting that backstabber penalty. But we will move forward a little bit. That's probably as far as we're going to go forward with any of our units. You can stay there and heal up. Move you in as well. You are just going to sleep. On to the next turn. Probably got time for one more turn in this video. In fact, probably haven't. So we'll just finish off this turn. And, oh no, I've got another unit that needs orders. Yep, you're going to stay there. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying this series. I've certainly pulled it back a lot more than I thought it would. Doesn't necessarily mean to say that I am going to win. There's still every possibility that either Egypt or Arabia could get a victory before I'm able to deal with them. But I'm certainly glad that I didn't quit a few episodes ago when I got into real trouble. I'm glad that I persevered on, because it's taught me a few things, and we've certainly made some progress. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.